everybody. Tonight we are making a dish so simple you don't even need a cutting board. It's a recipe I found in Bon Appetit. I'm not going to try to pronounce the Italian name, but basically it is pasta with tuna and butter. So it is comprised of 3 ingredients, actually 4 if you count salt. We've got tuna and olive oil, pasta, spaghetti is what I'm using, and butter. This is about half a stick of butter, 4 tablespoons. And then over here, I've got water boiling for the pasta. It is going to be heavily salted. As you should always heavily salt your pasta water. But I'm excited to make this. Super simple, sounds delicious, and it essentially is gonna teach us how to make pasta, because if your pasta doesn't taste good on its own after just boiling in that salty water, the dish probably isn't gonna taste all that great. So it's good for that aspect. And also, it's an adaptable recipe. If you want to add other ingredients, you could add like chopped basil or parsley. You could do a bunch of things. You could add chopped olives, according to the author of the recipe. I'm not going to do any of that. We're just going to have tuna, butter, and pasta. I'm cutting the recipe in half, but the original recipe is a full box of spaghetti, a pound, and then 2 cans of tuna. I'm going to cut that in half, do half a box of spaghetti, 1 can of tuna, half a stick of butter, and we'll see how this tastes. I have not made this before. Our pasta water is boiling, so I'm going to eyeball half this box of pasta. And toss it in. Unfortunately, the pot is not big enough to get all the pasta in there, which, you know, I'm sure does lead to unevenly cooked pasta, but it's never really been an issue. As soon as the pasta gets soft enough, push it all in, and we're good to go. In this bowl, we're gonna add the tuna and the butter and some pepper. I guess that's 5 ingredients now we're up to. Tuna in a can with olive oil, spaghetti, butter, salt, and pepper. I'm sure you can see the camera shaking as I'm trying to get this tuna out of here. It's not working very well. Use this knife. I'm not trying to get another dish dirty just to get this olive oil, or another utensil dirty out just to get the olive oil out of this can. All right. The recipe then says to cut up the butter into small hunks and add it to the tuna. So I'm just gonna do that as I can right now. I'm really hoping this recipe is good. I mean, a recipe that only has, well, 3 ingredients if you don't count salt and pepper. That's right up my alley these days. We'll see if the family likes it. The daughter might even like it. She'll eat noodles with just butter. We'll see if we can sneak the tuna past her. Also, I love the idea that, say you did have some leftover herbs or something you wanted to use up, you could throw it in here, and I'm sure it would only add to the dish. If you found yourself with tuna that was not in olive oil, but you had olive oil, you could just take that tuna that's in water and drain it, and then add olive oil. I would say a few tablespoons per a can, and you're probably going to be good. As I was saying before my camera died, which is my phone, if you don't have tuna and olive oil, just take tuna and water and add your own olive oil. 2 to 3 tablespoons per can is probably going to be plenty. I could also see adding a little bit of lemon zest and to this. You could add some Parmesan cheese probably. The recipe said just to smash it all up together, so that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna add a little bit of black pepper. I'm not gonna add any salt just yet because I salted the pasta so heavily, pasta water. My guess is that I'll add the hot noodles. Once I add the hot noodles to this bowl, the butter's gonna start to melt. We're gonna stir it all up. Hopefully, it'll make a sauce. I believe the recipe said that if the pasta looks dry, you add more butter and maybe some pasta water. The recipe is on my phone, which I'm using as a camera, so I can't look at it right now. So let's hope I got this right. Check on the pasta. Guessing it's not even close. Yep. So I'm gonna let that pasta boil, and when we're ready to mix everything together, we will touch base again and see how this 3-ingredient pasta dish tastes. All right, I think we're pretty much there with the pasta. It's al dente, as they like to say. Essentially, has just become soft. What are you doing, Blue? You're not getting any of this. Not right now, at least. So, according to the recipe, we're gonna take the pasta and throw it into the bowl, trying to include some of the pasta water as we do it, which is full of starch and will probably help turn this buttery tuna mixture. Can you see that? It'll turn this into a sauce, is what I'm told by Bon Appetit. We'll find out right now. All right. Boom. I got to get it in there quick. Ow, the bowl is hot because the water's hot. I'm leaving a couple noodles behind. But what, you know, it's gonna happen. It's spaghetti and I'm using tongs. All right, let's see how this works. Just mixing everything up somewhat vigorously, as the recipe says. I would imagine right now we've got butter melting. It is hot pasta, so I don't think that will be a problem at all. I'm still gonna keep going. I'm not gonna add any more butter yet because I find it hard to believe that all the butter's melted. It is looking at I mean, that looks kind of like a sauce, but I'm seeing butter in there, so I'm going to keep stirring. Trying to decide if I should add more butter or pasta water to this. But I'm going to give it a little more time. There we go. That's starting to look like a sauce. Kind of impressive. Wow. That is looking really good. I mean, really good for pasta that only has 3 ingredients. I don't think we're going to win any awards for culinary photography, but it smells delicious. You probably can't get that. And those noodles look sauced. I am going to add just a touch of pasta water. Just going to use this. I'm thinking like that may have been a half a tablespoon. Barely anything. I just want to loosen this up a little bit. All right. So, there we go. Pasta in the bowl, simple. A little more pepper on top just to keep it simple. I'll give you a nice close-up shot after we're done with this. I'm gonna taste it real quick. Hopefully I can edit out the sound. The sound of me eating on this video is definitely not a pleasant one. Holy, that's actually really good.
Just remember what I say.